Not
Let
yet.
me check when he was killed. I'm just checking the date.
Welcome to another episode of the Nearly Go Around podcast and YouTube channel. I am Renaldo McKenzie, and we're right here in Center City, Philadelphia, right in front of Philadelphia's first black martyr, Octavius Valentine Catto. And we are going to be here on October 5th for a major celebration, commemoration of this amazing gentleman with Dr. Okur and other members of the Africology Department of Temple University. Coming up next on the podcast is my sit-down interview with Dr. Anadolu-Okur, the author of Frederick Douglass's Dismantling Slavery. That's what's coming up next. Please come out to Center City on October 5th at I think 11 o'clock and be a part of the great event as we celebrate and commemorate the life of Octavius Valentine Catto, Philadelphia's first black martyr. I'm Renaldo McKenzie of the Nearly Go Around podcast. Welcome.
Shall I talk about Catto very
Yes,
briefly?
please. We're here talking with Dr. Okur, Dr. Nilgan Okur. She's actually my advisor here at Temple University, and she's the graduate chair, the chair of the undergraduate program and the chair of the undergraduate railroad conference, Dr. Nilgan Anadolu-Okur. Am I right?
Yes, you are.
Right, and this is just a quick brief. We're going to be doing a lot more projects with Dr. Okur, but she's talking about the Octavius Catto conference. And just so you know, Dr. Okur she wrote Dismantling Slavery, and also is a big proponent and one of the foundation persons in Underground Railroad. Welcome to the Nearly Go Around podcast.
Thank you so much, Renaldo.
Yes.
We are happy to have you as our graduate student here.
Yes.
We are proud of our graduate students because they all come from very accomplished backgrounds, and you
Yes.
are one of them.
Thank you.
Now, talking about Octavius Catto, he was killed in 1871 in an October day during a voter registration. He was an activist in Philadelphia and everybody knew him. But unfortunately, black Philadelphians who were struggling to have their voices heard during
Yes.
the election were not well liked by the opponents, and you know who they are.
Yes.
So he was killed during this October 10, 1871 by a white supremacist.
Okay.
So we honor Octavius Catto every year with a ceremony at the City Hall. If you walk to Philadelphia's City Hall, towards the southern face of the City Hall, there's a huge monument. It is Octavius Valentine Catto Monument to honor him. We gathered there this year in 2024, October 5th at 11 a.m. to remember his legacy and really to spread the word. There will be a wreath laying ceremony, and
Yes.
our department always takes part. We have our own departmental wreath
Yes.
for Octavius Catto.
Nice.
And this year, we would like to invite you and some of my other students who will be interested. So we will remember him, we will honor Octavius Catto because he is one of our martyrs and a leader too.
Yes.
This is the goal, and I hope you can make it at 11 a.m. But
Yes.
if you are sharing this with your audiences, October 5th, downtown Philadelphia, at City Hall, Octavius Catto Monument, we will have an honor ceremony, and there will also be activists, Octavius Catto Society members, and Temple Honor Guard will also be there. In addition, and finally, there is USCT, United States Colored Troops representatives. They will also arrive with their muskets,
Okay.
and there will be a firing for
I don't know the colored troops. That's a new one. USCT.
USCT,
Okay.
who were one of the most important groups who joined the Civil War starting 1863.
Yes.
And their headquarters were on Route 611,
Okay.
Camp William Penn.
Yes.
This is where they arrived, and they were trained, and then they were sent to fight the Confederates.
Yes.
So there's a lot of history in our city, and we would like to remember and talk about it all the time.
Yes, there is. And I'm so happy that I'm speaking with Dr. Okur, and she is the graduate chair of the program here at Temple University. And it's quite interesting. You talk about great the history in Philadelphia, but you are part of the history, but you yourself had an interesting story, and we're going to have her back on the show. We are hoping to do something called Bridges. Yes, we're hoping to do something called building bridges, and I know you also said that there is a conference that's coming up in February for Black History Month. What's that? Just quickly mention it again. I know I'd asked you about it, but we weren't recording.
Sure, I will be very happy to be a part of your Building Bridges program, Renaldo.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, our program in February is an annual event.
Yes.
We have been celebrating Black history and focusing on Underground Railroad history, mainly Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, all these people who contributed their efforts to help others escape.
Yes.
This year, meaning in 2025, our conference will be at Temple University, live in person on February 19th, and starting at 10 a.m. in person. We would love to have you come and do interviews. Every year we pick a different team. Last year we invited Alvin Pettit, who is the sculptor, who is doing Harriet Tubman statue,
Yes.
25 feet tall, in front of the City Hall as well. And in 2025, after summer, Alvin Pettit told us the statue will be ready to be unveiled. So next year's theme will still be Harriet Tubman, but we haven't decided on
Yes.
which aspect of her life.
Oh, nice.
An activist woman, a brave woman that
Yes.
many people have to take as a model.
Yeah, and I think she's been very influential in your life.
Yes,
I
she
think,
did.
and
Yes.
and you know her.
I did not know her, but I know
Yes.
her personality
Personality,
and
yes,
her
and
character.
yeah,
When I first arrived at Temple University as an assistant professor, my chairperson gave me the office at the end of the hallway.
yes,
And it is a tiny little office which I love for the last 35 years. There was a picture of
Yeah.
a woman next to the door, and I didn't know her the day I arrived.
yes.
I made research on her, and I wanted to know who this woman is, who was carrying a rifle in her hand, and she was walking in the woods. So
Wow, interesting. A woman carrying a rifle. Yes, yes. Go ahead.
So the photograph really enticed me, and I found out it was Harriet Tubman.
Yes.
Then I learned more about her, read everything about her. Then it led to another and major research on Philadelphia, Black Philadelphians, and Philadelphia's role in helping the freedom movement
Yes.
in the 18th century, 19th century. So I have, of course, deep respect and immense recognition for Harriet Tubman's efforts in organizing almost 19 trips from the eastern shore of Maryland, which she escaped herself,
Yes.
and coming through our city
Yes.
and hiding with her passengers, and how William Still, her friend, another agent on Underground Railroad, helped her, and then how she moved on to Canada.
Yes.
So all these people are being honored in our annual conference every February, and I will be not only happy but honored
Yes.
if we talk about them more in your program.
Wow, I am looking forward to this. This is a blessing. And just so you know, Philadelphia plays an important and a significant, a vital role in the freedom movement in America. And what are academics doing? What is Temple University doing to help to facilitate the kind of education and training? I guess these two events is part of the process.
Renaldo, we are happy about your presence in our program.
Yes.
You have brought us lots of light
Yes.
and hope.
Yes.
And I'm very proud of your former achievements. And I know as your advisor, you will write a beautiful dissertation in a couple of years and
Yes.
make ourselves and yourself be heard and more recognized. So I
Yes.
have great trust in your skills.
Thank you so much.
We welcome you to our department. And yes, we will talk more about these individuals. Philadelphia has been extremely important, but not well recognized.
That is true.
So my goal is, with your help, to put Philadelphia on the map in terms of its road to freedom
Yes.
and its immense contributions because of its black population,
Yes.
to be recognized more than it deserves.
That is true. This is powerful. This is just a synopsis of what is to come. I'm Renaldo McKenzie of the Anadolu-Okur podcast and the YouTube channel, and we're talking with Professor Dr. Nilgan and Anadolu-Okur. Am I right? Great, and yes, and please, and if just so you know, she is an accomplished author. She's a historian. If you need to purchase her book, Dismantling Slavery, you also wrote several other books. What is your latest work, so that people who want to know your latest? She also wrote.
This is my first book.
First book. It's Contemporary African American Theater, Afrocentricity in the works of Larry Neal, and of course Amiri Baraka and Charles Fuller. And of course, we will have these available on the podcast. We will show it for you on the YouTube channel. If you're listening on audio, if you want to actually see it, you can go to theneilabo.com or renaldocmckenzie.com or go on the YouTube channel. We'll have it available for you. If people want to reach you, how can they reach you?
My email is very simple. It's my last name. I will spell it for you.
Yes.
And thank you for asking. It's anadolu@temple.edu. So one more time, it is anadolu@temple.edu. I'll be happy to speak to anyone who is inquiring about Black history, Black freedom.
Yes, and if people want you to come and share,
Yes.
to give lectures and talks, yes, she's
Yes.
available. Dr. Anadolu is.
And we are inviting everybody
Yes.
who are listening to us right now to join us on October 5th at
Yes.
downtown Philadelphia, 11 a.m. And
Yes.
also in February 2025, February 19th,
Yes.
to come and join us for the Underground Railroad Conference 22nd year. We
Yes.
are very happy and proud. Thank you, Renaldo.
Thank you. And this is where we will leave you guys. Thank you for joining us. And this is the Anadolu-Okur podcast. We're always serving the world today to solve tomorrow's challenges by making popular what was the monopoly. What good? And we are done. That was great.
All of a sudden we had an interview.
Yes, that was amazing.
There was a lot of people out, a lot of people. I
Octavius Valentine Catto was born in 1839, born February 22 in Charleston, South Carolina. In 1854, he becomes a student in the Philadelphia Institute for Colored Youth. In 1858, he graduated from the Institute for Colored Youth. In 1859, he's chosen as a member and recording secretary of the Benneker Institute, an all-black literary society led by Jacob White Jr. That's 1859. He was hired as an English and mathematics teacher at his alma mater, and campaigned to desegregate the horse-drawn streetcars in Philadelphia begins. In 1863, he becomes a member of the Pennsylvania National Guard, and in 1863, he becomes a member of the Pennsylvania National Guard and helps lead a Civil War recruiting committee with Frederick Douglass, members of the Union League and others, which raised 11 regiments of black troops who trained at Camp William Penn in Cheltenham. In 1864, he was named corresponding secretary of the Pennsylvania State Equal Rights League, an affiliate of the National Equal Rights League. He was appointed vice president of the State Convention of Colored People held in Harrisburg, and led civil disobedience protests and lobbied white legislators in Harrisburg to desegregate streetcars. In 1865, he co-authored the State Equal Rights League call for voting rights, streetcar desegregation, and the hiring of black teachers for black students in public schools. In 1867, Governor signed a statewide Bill of Rights, the law desegregating streetcars. Look at this. In 1863, he started his work when he was employed, when he becomes a member of the Pennsylvania National Guard and helping the Union League and working with Frederick Douglass. And by 1867, the governor signed a statewide Bill of Rights, law desegregating streetcars, and led the Pythians Baseball Club, or the Pythians Baseball Club of Philadelphia, to an undefeated season. 1867. In 1869, he was named principal of male students at the Institute for Colored Youth. The Pythians also played the Olympic Ball Club in Philadelphia in the first match between black and white teams. He was a leader of the unsuccessful effort to integrate the private citywide Congress of Literary Societies, and helps lead successful Pennsylvania campaign to pass the 15th Amendment, which led to thousands of black men registering to vote. In 1870, the Union League presents Octavius Catto, Frederick Douglass, and Robert Purvis with a banner celebrating Pennsylvania's adoption of the 15th Amendment at a ceremony on Broad Street. In 1870, he writes curriculum for new schools for freed former slaves in the District of Columbia. In 1870, he becomes a member of the original Franklin Institute, breaking the color line at the prestigious National Forum for Advancing American Science and Technology. In 1871, he was named an Inspector General with the rank of Major in the Pennsylvania National Guard. And in 1871, he was shot to death on October 10 on South Street in the midst of Election Day riots. He was 32 and one of many black men shot or attacked that day by opponents of the 15th Amendment. As one of Philadelphia's most influential leaders, more than 5,000 mourners attended his funeral and procession down Broad Street. And this is the Institute for Colored Youth that he helped to form.
Sorry, he was the principal for the Institute of Colored Youth, the male principal. Interesting. We talk about the assassination of great men, or men who want, or great men who we call revolutionaries, people who are hoping to change the tide. Men like Martin Luther King, men like John F. Kennedy, men who represent and are trying to protect the nation and all peoples. It didn't start with Martin Luther King, guys, or Malcolm X in the US here. We had other statesmen fighting for the betterment of black people. When we talk about Africology, or that which is Afrocentric, that which is Afrocentric focuses on agency. In other words, and what is agency? It is acting for one's betterment, acting for one's good. You know, some time ago when I just came to the US, I was in West Philadelphia, and a young man wanted me to litter the place, throw garbage, and I said no, I'm going to put it in the car. When I get home, I put it in a trash bag. He said, what you talk about? We black, throw it out the door. And many people believe that that's black. Black people litter. Black people don't have family. Black people don't have religion. Black people can't lead. Okay? That's not true. That, in fact, that has always been part of what defines the African. Okay? And you might see people on the roadside talking and think that they're strange and weird, but they're not strange and weird. But when you see a black person or African person who challenges the narrative, the value system that they try to impose on us, then this is what happened. They try to assassinate them, kill their spirit, so that the lie can continue to be perpetuated. Nothing black, no good. That's not true. Or nothing. There's nothing that originates out of the black world.
This is beautiful.
That's not true.
Faith Williams.
And we say people fighting.
Guys,
and when we talk about agency, that's very important. The agency is to act or to move in one's behalf. Okay? And so Africology and African centeredness is about that. It's about getting people from Africa, people of all Africa, to develop agency, the ability to work in one's behalf or on one's behalf. Quite powerful. This is the Neoliberal Podcast. Join us on October 10th. Thank you.